What up, y'all? Today I'm here to put you on with a new band. They're a metalcore band from Italy called The Wind Covenant. I found them myself a little over a year ago now through my Spotify DJ, and right away I was hooked. They have this really dark atmosphere that they create, and it's kind of a mix between, heavy metal and these really cool soundscapes, I want to say. So their first release ever, Damnation, they teamed up with Lee McKinney, who's a guitarist from Born of Osiris. So after that first release, they put out a couple singles, and then that eventually culminated in their first album, which was a little short. It was only like 7 songs, but there's some really great stuff in there. It's really heavy, just kind of smacks you in the face, and it's just got such a really cool Djent sound to it, and the way they kind of weave that into this kind of classical music inspiration is just really cool to see. They've got just this really awesome fullness that comes from the way everything's mixed too. So the first album they put out, Conjuration, has this really, really dark feel to it. It's got really heavy guitars, drums are full of energy, and it's got some clean and mostly unclean vocals, which seem to be the focus generally. Just creates this really dark atmosphere that you're looking for when you're listening to metal or, metalcore. It opens really strong with Redemption, Prophecy's another good one, Absolution, Long Forgotten. Absolution has some really cool time changes in there that kind of throw you for a loop and then, jump right back into the energy. And Long Forgotten has this kind of stutter part in the guitar that comes through a couple times that I really like. There's just a lot of really cool stuff going on between the guitars, drums, the bass, and the vocals, the way they all interplay with each other. It's really well done. What I would say though with their first album is the clean vocals, they sound good, they're mixed well, he's got a good voice. The part that's really just falls a little bit short for me is the melodies themselves, which I think is somewhat due to the instrumentals. Like I said, they've got a really dark feel that sometimes can seem a little restricting when you're writing melodies and stuff. I think they do the job though. They kind of give you that break from the really guttural, unclean stuff, which are awesome. Like his unclean vocals are just really gritty, really heavy, really deep, and they just kind of emphasize the whole vibe. But yeah, I think that the clean vocals melodically kind of suffer a little bit because of how dark they were trying to get their sound, which again, I love the darkness. That's, what I'm looking for in a metal band. So I would definitely recommend checking out Conjuration if you're a fan of Shokran or Born of Osiris. You'll really enjoy their first album. The newer album, Hiereth, I think is just, a complete step up from everything they were doing with Conjuration. It still keeps that awesome instrumentation. The songwriting is still really, really strong. It's got, great lyrics. The guitars somehow seem even meatier in their newer EP. I don't know if it's a mixing thing or, whatever settings they had, but, it's just kind of turned up a notch even further. The only difference I would say, though, is Hiereth has a somewhat brighter feeling to it than Conjuration. The guitar work is still top notch. It's still got a real heaviness to it, but the melodies in the guitar itself seem to be slightly less dark, still dark though. And I think in this EP, it definitely helps with the clean vocal parts. Like the melodies just come through a little bit better and they seem a little more natural in each song, although they still seem to focus mostly on the unclean stuff. Like the clean vocals typically just come up as like the hooks or the chorus, whereas the verses and stuff mostly rely on the unclean vocals, and those are still at the same great level they were from the previous album. He's just got a really full like heaviness to it, and it fits so perfectly in what they're doing with the instrumentals and stuff. If you listen through Conjuration start to finish and then you move into Hiereth, I think that step up will really surprise you, because there's so much good stuff already going on in Conjuration. They've got such a great sound. It sounds like they've been doing it forever. And then you get to Hiereth, and it's just that much more perfected. Like, I think the mix is slightly better on the newer stuff as they kind of get to know what they want out of each song, and the guitar work somehow gets crunchier and punchier. Like, it's so good. I think they're a great band. They're relatively new, and they've just shown a lot of potential in everything they put out, and they've continuously improved on their style and their sound with every release. So I think that their potential and current output deserved a little bit of recognition, and hopefully I've convinced you to at least give them a shot, listen to everything they've done, everything they've put out. If you're a fan of Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya, even Erra, I would definitely encourage you to check these guys out. They're worth your time. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know if you decide to listen, what you think of it, where you might agree or disagree with me, and see you next time.